Hello, you are listening to Matshidiso Khupari on Walking with God. The message is be intentional. I don't know how many of us are in a situation where we need a reminder to be intentional about life, making sure that you just don't live your life without any purpose, without any plan, without proper choices. You are just going on and on, and there's no things that you are doing intentionally in order for yourself to get organized. Now I just want to reflect on some quotes that I've heard. They say intentional living is the art of making our own choices before others make them for us. So you want to be intentional about your health. You want to be intentional about your schooling life. You want to be intentional about your work. You want to be intentional about different relationships. Be intentional about your parents relationship. Be intentional about your marriage relationship. Be intentional about your children's relationship. Everything in life, if we are going to have success, we need to be intentional about it, and we need to make certain choices that can prepare us for the future. I believe that if you have a future, then you must have intentions about that future. Then you must have a purpose and plans in place for your life. You cannot just go running your life like it doesn't matter. Most of the time, we have this excuse that says, I don't have time to do it. I don't have time to go to gym. I don't have time to study. I'm too busy. But somebody just challenged me and said, you know what, you make time for the things that you actually want to do. And it's true. I don't want to go to gym. I really don't want to go to gym. And that's why I'm not making time to go to gym. But the sad part is that I'm paying gym. And that is not wise. We need to be able to be responsible about the things that we are paying for, and also being responsible about our health. So the more I decide this is what I want to do, this is what I have to do, then I will create the time and say, this time, this particular time, every day, or maybe 3 times a week, I have to be in gym no matter what. And you know what? It's very important that you actually also make sure that the people that want to disrupt you from that slot, you tell them, no, I'm not available during that time. You must be focused about it. You must make that choice for yourself. Otherwise, other people then will do what? Will make that choice for you. Intention is spelled purpose. This generation needs purpose-driven adults to guide them, because truly speaking, they are just living life and they are learning from those who went before them. So if you're going to be spending time every weekend going out, drinking booze and doing things and thinking your children are not looking at you, guess what? You are lying to yourself. Those kids are looking at you and you are setting an example for them how adults behave. We need to be intentional about acting wisely before our kids, acting wisely when we are with our children, and making sure that our children can actually learn good practices of being purposeful and having goals and plans. If you continually show them the way to go, believe you me, when they are old, they will take that route. If you have a future, if you have a tomorrow, you cannot just live anyhow. You need to be purposeful and intentional about that future. You need to wake up in the morning, make sure that you are ready for the day. Take a bath, get dressed, get yourself beautiful, and be ready for any call. Be ready to go anywhere at any time, and not just sit in bed the whole day, doing nothing, watching TV, playing games, being on Facebook the whole day, and not actually achieving anything. Respect your time, as each and every day matters. Look at the previous day and say, I've accomplished this yesterday, and today I want to accomplish this. Tomorrow, this is what I want to accomplish. And plan around it and stick around your plan, and make sure that you actually do the little things that builds up to a bigger vision, a bigger accomplishment at the end of the year. For an example, some of us have registered in different institutions. We want to graduate. We are challenged when we see others on social media showing how they made it. Mama, I made it. You know what? But then we don't want to put the required time to study. We don't want to put the effort. And you know what? Intentional living, it requires out of you, it demands you, it has a discomfort attached to it, because now you have to do things that you actually don't want to do. But the other day, I was telling my kids and saying, the more you do the things that you don't want to do, good things, not anything bad, good things, the more you do those things, the more you build your character, the more you build yourself up. When you sit in the chair and study, those hours of study, you become a better person. It trains you. The more you go to gym, there's something that is built inside of you. It could be tenacity, it could be perseverance, it could be strength to overcome certain things in your life. It's what you do when you don't want to do it that's gonna make you a different person. Intentional living is about being responsible about your life and not just assuming things will work out. Now, what does that mean? It means you must take responsibility and put certain things in place so that you don't regret and say, I thought that this relationship will work out for me. I thought that this person loves me. I thought that this guy has got good intentions about me. No, we don't come back and regret. You make certain valuable decisions. You question the people that wants to come into your space. You even question yourself about them. Ask yourself, is this friendship adding value to my life? If that friendship is not adding value, it's all about coming together, having fun, and nothing purposeful about it. They can pray with you, they can encourage you to go to school, but yet they are going to school. They don't encourage you to build yourself up, but they are building themselves up. Guess what? That person doesn't want anything good for you. You need to start counting out the people that add value into your life and taking them out of your life slowly but surely, instead of hanging around people that brings you down, people that doesn't build you up, people that make you feel like you don't deserve to be alive. You know what? You cannot continue to be beaten up by this boyfriend. Why are you doing that? There were definitely red flags at the beginning of that relationship that you undermined, and you continually gathered the red flags, and you saw that this thing but you thought that was love. When you were looking at it, you thought, the reason why this guy is beating me up is because he's jealous, he loves me. No, beating you up is not a good sign. You need to not go into relationships that are already showing you flames and you stick around because you think the person loves you. No, they don't love you, girl. You need to wake up and smell the coffee. The person hates you. That's how they feel about you. They show you who they are when they are. Look at their eyes when they are beating you up, and decide if those eyes have got love. And I'm sure you're gonna realize that person doesn't love you, because their voice, their eyes will show you just how much hatred they have for you. And you need to start waking up and running for your life before you are buried tomorrow. And we give you roses, but you are under the ground. Be intentional about dating. If you're going to be in a dating space, there are questions. Search the internet and find out what are the questions that you need to ask a person if you are going to date them. Be intentional. Don't just go into relationships because this person is sexy, because they go to gym, because they look cute, because you like their hairstyle. No, marriage, relationship is not about that. That's why we've got such a high rate of divorce, because of people who are going into marriages without proper intentions, without the correct questions being asked these people. Then you go in assuming and thinking you have made the right choice, and only to find out that that person is actually the one making the choices for you, and they know what they want from you, but you don't know what you want from them. And if you both don't know what you want from each other, then it's actually even worse. You know what? Start being intentional about relationships. We need to be intentional about bringing kids into the world. You know, a lot of people are bringing kids in the world. They can't even afford to pay school fees. They can't even afford to do anything for the child. But you know what? It's just life. We are just having fun. The fun brings life into this planet. That life needs a father and a mother. That life needs caring. That life needs provision. You know, if you ask people who are middle earners and maybe rich, if you ask them, do you want to have children? They will start telling you, we are not ready yet. We are still planning. We're still checking if our finances will be able to accommodate us. But then you find this cool girl who's got a child. Hey, Motamudim, what are you doing? Why are you bringing a child into this earth and then only to be depend on Sasa? You know, I don't understand. And you are not even working, but you've got 2, 3, 4, 5 children without a father. Each and every one of them has got a different father. No, my girl, you know what, learn from other people's mistakes and say, I don't want to reach that stage. I want to be purposeful about my life. I want to go to school. I want to study. And tell yourself what you want to be and set a goal. You know, it's not that maybe definitely you will be that person. As you study, you will change. And certain people have said, I want to be a doctor. And when they get into the field or tertiary, they decided, I don't actually like this field. I want to be an engineer, whatever. But at least have set a goal. You know, it's a person that have got a goal that is busy striving towards that goal that will eventually reach somewhere, than a person who's sitting there and saying, no, I don't have money to go to school. No, I don't have this. I don't have that. You know what? There are people who made moves in their lives in order for them to be where they actually wanted to be. I remember one of my friends' father. That guy is late now, but I remember them telling us a story that when he was a young boy, he even went and worked at the filling station, a garage, just to make sure he provides for the siblings, because this young man, both him and their siblings, didn't have parents, and he made sure that he worked at the filling station to provide while he was still in high school. You know what? That for me is in being intentional. And he didn't just end there. He continued to go to tertiary. He continued to study, you know, and he took himself to school. He made plans. And then eventually he was an inspector. He was an inspector of the schools in Northwest. That's one of the people that I look up to and say, my God, if this man can start from a filling station to an inspector of schools without assistance from anyone, anybody then can do it. I remember when I met my husband, his sister used to go around doing laundry for people in their homes, cleaning, just to make sure that they pay for their tuition at tertiary. And she ended up being an electrician, and she worked in ESCOM and accomplished so much. And for me, that is a person that shows they've got a purpose, they have goals, and they are purpose driven, and not just sitting around making excuses that they don't have money to go to school. You know, you can make excuses, but the excuses will catch up with you. You are making excuses about not studying, whereas you know you want to graduate. Guess what? The graduation ceremony will arrive and you will not have the result you need to qualify for that graduation, because your excuses will have caught up with you. Now let's wake up. Let's start working hard to make sure that the things that we want to accomplish in our lives, we actually do. Now we have a business develop meeting every first Wednesday of the month, and a lot of people want to join in, and I say, I don't want people that have never tried to have a business. You must have a business, at least it must be 1 year in running, so that when we ask you, tell us about your business, you have actually something to tell us that we can buy from you. You have something actually to inform us about, and when we ask you questions about your business, your product, you can actually share something. Because why? A person who has tried to do something with their lives, and yes, they make mistakes and maybe the business doesn't work, has got actually something that I've learned about this business, than somebody who's sitting there saying, I want to be in business. No, you're not going to be in business as long as it's still I want to be. You need to start buying some products and reselling them, doing something with your life if you want to achieve your goals. So those goals that you have will be achieved as long as you are intentional about them and you are actually planning to do something about them. After we got married in 2005, I remember we were sitting in our car just coming back from church, and we were just worshiping and praising God. And just before we got into the house, we started praying and praying. On that moment, God spoke and said, you are not yet one, but you will become one. That was in 2005. And for some time, I questioned that, but then again, I kind of like understood what God meant, you know, as I looked at our life growing. And I realized today, as I'm speaking to you, that becoming one, it's a process of growing. Light be, you know, it's not like that. It's a process of growing together to become one. Now, when you get married, you must be intentional about your marriage. You must be intentional about communicating. You must be intentional. The husband must be intentional about providing, must be intentional about certain things. You know, yes, I understand some people have lost their jobs and all these things, but there's always a plan. If you actually think about it, you can be retrenched, but you can start a business. If you have intentions and you actually are a person who's got a purpose and you are tired of just sitting there, you have intentions. Every element in a marriage, it's supposed to be, you're supposed to have intentions about it in order for you to grow. And as you continue to grow, yes, there will be times when you need to forgive each other. There will be times when you are upset at each other. But as you continue to grow, you become one. You know, you start not being as one as God wants you to be. But if you are patient enough, and if you trusting God, and being patient with yourself and patient with the other person, having goals, because the more you look into each other's eyes and be lovey-dovey all the time, the more you're gonna start even seeing the negative things that you don't want to see, and they will frustrate you. As much as looking into each other's eyes, it's a nice thing, but also it's got a negative element to it. Everything has got a positive and a negative element. But if you have a goal and a purpose together that you are looking forward, you are striving towards together as a family, guess what? It will be easier. You will be able to accomplish things easily in your life and not be on each other's neck the whole time. And you grow to become one. You grow to become one. And that understanding, I believe also it makes it easier for people who are in marriage to just relax and understand we are striving to be one. You know, and that on its own, it increases the element of being intentional. So now I just want to encourage you with this message. I hope you enjoyed it. And this is 108. But then I advise you to get 101 and 102 if you haven't received them. And the first one was talking about emotional intelligence, and the second one was explaining what it means to be born again, the spirit versus the soul. Why does God speak about being born again? Just listen to it, even if you say, nah, this born again story, I don't like it. But listen to it so that you know for yourself, so that when you say you don't want, then you at least know what it means, you know. And yeah, I'm hoping that you will enjoy this message and you will share it with other people. Yes, I hope you learn from it. Share with me your comments on the message. Tell me what you think about it. And yeah, continue to preach the things that you are learning. It doesn't have to be only with me. It can be with any other person that is sharing information with you. And yes, by the beginning of July, we will be on YouTube.